Hello, you're welcome to the channel, and thank you so much for visiting the channel. And so this channel is the teacher channel, okay? The teacher channel, okay? So this channel is about first aid, about CPR, about emergency and what to do when emergency occurs. So that is actually the reason why this channel exists. And I want to thank you for your support so far. And for those who are subscribed, I say thank you so much. For those who are still yet to subscribe to the channel, I also ask you to do so, please. And you can also like and share the video. Okay, so it's about life, very, very important. Today, I want to talk about an important, very important topic about AED. So, AED is the topic today. So, and this stands for automated external defibrillator. Okay, so this is a computerized device, okay, portable, lightweight machine that is capable of dictating abnormal heart reading and can also go as far as restoring the normal heart reading. So AED is a computerized device capable of dictating abnormal or irregular heart reading and can also normalize those heart reading through electrical shock. So AED can give shock, but it can only give shock, it can only recommend shock if abnormal heart reading or abnormal heart readings are dictated. So abnormal heart reading can arise from the heart that is, beating too fast or too quickly, which is what you call tachycardia, or from the heart that is doing the opposite, beating too slowly, which is what you call bradycardia, or even the heart that is beating erratically. So it's not stable, going up and down. There's no regular pattern or heartbeat. So such are capable of leading to cardiac arrest. So when somebody is in that state, the heart is either beating too quickly or beating too slowly or beating erratically, it can actually lead to cardiac arrest. And cardiac arrest means that the heart stops beating effectively. And the heart is an important organ, very indispensable organ. Nobody can survive beyond 4 or 5 minutes without the heart. Many people will have died before 4 minutes if the heart stops beating. Okay, so when that happens, the person who is in cardiac arrest needs to be resuscitated. Most of the time, CPR is performed, okay? Most of the time, the resuscitation attempt begins with the CPR, which is cardiopulmonary resuscitation. I have a video on this, a very comprehensive video on this already, and I want you to check it out. Okay, how to perform high quality CPR on somebody who is in cardiac arrest. So let's assume somebody is in cardiac arrest. The person who is about to help, the person who is resuscitating the person, has already called the emergency number, 911 or your local emergency number. And then one of the things you should request, even before you start performing CPR, is AED. Okay, so you need AED in this situation. Apart from CPR, you need AED. Okay, so this one, okay, can pump, okay, pump the blood and also bring in oxygen. Okay, chest compressions will pump. Okay, so distribute oxygen through the blood. Okay, so remember that CPR comprises of chest compressions followed by breath, usually 30 chest compressions followed by 2 breaths, right? So this one pumps blood. This is where you introduce oxygen. Okay, however, the root cause of this situation, the root cause for the cardiac arrest can only be fixed by AED. So why CPR is important? Because the cells of the body will need blood to be distributed, as well as the oxygen, as well as other important nutrients. Okay, so that's what CPR does. Manually pumping, okay, so that the cells of the body will still receive oxygen and nutrients, because without them, the cells of the body will begin to die after some time. Okay, so but the root cause of the problem, I've already mentioned some of the root causes. Some of the reasons why somebody can go into cardiac arrest. Okay, tachycardia, which is the heart that is beating too quickly, or bradycardia, which is the heart that is beating too slowly, or the heart that is erratically beating. So those are capable of leading to cardiac arrest, which is very deadly emergency. Okay, so in that type of state, CPR is needed. More importantly, AED is needed. Okay, because AED is actually the device that can dictate, okay, that something is wrong. There's abnormal heart rhythm, which we call arrhythmias. So, and those abnormal heart rhythm can only be normalized through electrical shock, which AED is capable of giving. Okay, CPR doesn't give electrical shock that can fix the problem. AED does. But AED does not pump the heart. Okay, so that's where CPR is important. So each of them is actually contributing different purpose toward overall goal, which is resuscitation. Okay, so they play individual roles, very important roles. So one is doing this, the other one is doing that. Okay, so CPR is pushing the blood, bringing in oxygen, while AED would dictate what is wrong and recommend shock. Okay, which you now try to, if the shock bottle is pushed and the shock is delivered, that shock is capable of normalizing, resetting the heart, rebooting the heart, because the heart in what you call fibrillative state, fibrillation. Okay, so the heart in fibrillation is just quivering. So if you check the heart, it may be shaking. Normally the heart's supposed to be pumping like this, okay, pumping, okay. But when the heart is in that erratic state, either or maybe in bradycardia or tachycardia, which means it's going really too fast or too slowly, like, and that. So it will affect the heart. So the heart may just be shaking instead of pumping. All right? And so the shock from AED will target that. I will try to reset the heart. We'll try to normalize the heart, the heart rhythm. So instead of, the heart is shaking, the AED tries to normalize it to the pumping. Okay? So this is what AED does. Very, very important. Okay? With the CPR alone, the chance of survival is minimal. Okay? Minimal. But if you bring AED and combine two of them, the chance of survival can double or even triples. Okay, can triple. The chance of survival can increase tremendously by bringing AED. So the reason, of course, this is not a surprise, because AED targets the problem at the root. That, that unstable state of the heart, that abnormal heart rhythm that causes the problem, okay, is targeted and corrected. So through the electrical shock given by the AED. All right. So that is very, very important to note the difference between CPR and AED. Can you combine two of them? Yes. Okay, it is recommended that you combine two of them. Okay, chances are that AED may not be there at the beginning, but if the AED is right there, use it. Okay, but chances are that somebody may start with the CPR alone, at this time, but you need to request AED. And as soon as AED comes, you have to use it, because it is going to increase the chance of survival as a result of the eradication of the root cause, the unstable, abnormal heart rhythm. All right. So now we have seen the reason why you need to bring AED here. So let me talk about the components of AED, of an AED. So an AED, again, which is automated external defibrillator. Okay, remember, this is an electrical device that is able to dictate abnormal heart rhythm and is also able to restore the normal heart rhythm. So it can eliminate the abnormal heart rhythm, and when that elimination happens, the attempt is to restore the normal heart rhythm. Okay. So the AED can come in different sizes, different shapes, different manufacturers, models and makes, colors, features. Okay, so there are different sizes of AED, but there are three basic components of AED, 3 basic components, okay? So there are 3 basic components of typical AED, 3 basic components, okay? The device itself, which is the machine, okay? This is the machine itself, okay? This is the main component. B, you have the parts, and then C, connector, okay? Connector. So those are the 3 basic components, okay? And these 3 components must be linked together for this to work, okay? So the machine, the parts, you may get 2 types of parts here, the adult pad, okay, and the pediatric, okay, pediatric pad, okay, which is smaller. All right, so that's the basic components here. Okay, let me talk about how to use this machine, how to use the machine, which is so how do you operate AED? Very easy. AED is very easy to operate. Operating an AED. Okay? Operating. So, steps. So there are basic steps here. The very first step, okay, the very first step is to turn it on. So, turn it on. Turn it on. Okay? Some AEDs can turn on automatically. As soon as you lift the lid from the carrying case, okay, it turns on automatically. Okay? But some may not be able to turn on automatically. So in that case, you have to turn it on by yourself. So as soon as you bring it, okay, lift the lid, or you bring it from the case. So you have to power it on manually, and that is the very first thing. So as soon as you do that, now you have to listen to AED's instructions. So as soon as it is turned on, it begins to talk to you. Remember, this is computerized. So AED has some degree of intelligence. So it can lead you through the way. Okay? It can lead you through the way. So listen to AED and follow or obey, okay, the voice prompts. Obey the AED voice prompts. So it begins to talk. Okay, just follow. Okay, you don't need to question AED. You don't need to argue. You don't need AED doesn't need your input. All you need is carry out the instructions in the order that the instructions are given. Very, very important. Okay, all you need to listen. Also watch. Look at the pad as well, because on the pad you have the arrow on the pad indicating where to place it on the patient chest. Okay, so turn it on, listen, and follow, obey. All right. So I will show you. This is the AED I have. There are different AEDs out there. This is for training, so this will not be able to give the actual shock. So it's a portable device, very lightweight as well, but it is computerized. But it does powerful thing, something that is unimaginable. Is great. Okay. So this is the AED itself. So you need to familiarize yourself with the AED that you use. Okay, just as I said, AED can come in different sizes and shape and colors and design. Okay, so that is the device itself. Okay, now there is the pad. Okay, so this is the pad, and I want to so the pad, if you look at it closely, you can see that okay, it has a diagram on the pad with the red arrow. Okay, okay, showing you where to place it on the chest of the patient, and this has to go on the skin of the patient. So again, look at the arrow, and then there's also the pediatric pad, okay, which is the smaller type. Usually you use this one for anybody who is under 8 years, while the adult is for anyone above 8 years. 8 years. Okay, this is under 8 years. Again, look at the arrow on the arrows on this. Okay, it tells you that one must be placed in the front of the chest, one at the back. Okay, this is front, this is back. Okay, again, so you have to look at the pad before you place. All right. So, and then the connector. Okay, so this is what will link the two ends, the machine and the pad. Okay, this is where the information is transmitted. Okay, so I will demonstrate AED in another video. Okay, so watch out for that video. So this is where the information is transmitted from the machine to the chest, from the chest to the machine. Okay, so so before I conclude this video, I want to talk about some special considerations with the AED. So there are some special considerations with AED. Okay, so number one, so special considerations, special considerations with the use of AED. Okay, considerations. So one is pacemaker. Okay, so a patient who has pacemaker, on the spot where you need to place the pad. Okay, so you never place pad directly over pacemaker. So if the pacemaker is at the location where you need to stick one of the pads, and so what you do is that you move it down below pacemaker. Another one is hairy. So hairy chest. So if the chest is hairy to the point of preventing the sticking of this, okay, or the pad, okay, so you have two options. So you either, if you have razor, you shave it, you shave those areas before you place the pad. Otherwise, if you don't have razor and you have extra pad, you can wax it. So you forcefully pull the hairs off and then use new pad. So another one is wet. So wet chest. Okay, so if the chest is wet, you need to wipe before you use. Okay, another one is medication patch. Okay, so if you have medication patch or patches, okay, at the spot where you need to stick the pad, so you need to remove the medication pad and wipe it and then put the pad. So don't put pad over medication patch like nicotine patch or nitroglycerin. Okay, so thank you so much, and you can use it on pregnant woman. That's okay, it doesn't harm the baby. So thank you so much. This is the video that I want to make regarding AED. I hope you have learned a lot. Thank you. Please subscribe to the video, share and like. Thank you. Bye.